Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling lake, lived a little girl named Lily. Now Lily was known throughout the village for her infectious laughter and her kindness. But most of all, she was famed for her beautiful singing voice. Oh, how the birds would hush their songs when she sang, and the flowers would sway to the rhythm of her melodies. One day, an important visitor arrived in the village. It was the king's son, Prince Leo, and he was looking for someone to be his bride. The villagers, eager to have a prince for a son-in-law, started to prepare a grand ball. And they invited Lily to attend, hoping she would catch the prince's eye. Now, Lily had never been to a ball before, so she was both excited and a little nervous. She asked her mother, the village head, if she could go with her best friend, Thomas. "Of course, my dear," said her mother, smiling. "A friend is the perfect person to go with you." At the ball, Lily wore a gown that shimmered like 1,000 stars. Her red hair was braided with pearls, and a single white rose adorned her hair. As for Thomas, he looked dashing in a dark suit, and he couldn't stop beaming with pride as he walked beside Lily into the ballroom. Suddenly, all eyes turned to the handsome prince. Tall and charming, he was like a knight from a fairy tale. He was dressed in a royal blue suit, and instead of a crown, a simple yet elegant headband adorned his messy brown hair. When Prince Leo saw Lily, his breath hitched. She was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. And as their eyes met, it felt like the whole room had gone silent. For a moment, none of the music or chatter reached their ears. They were lost in their own little world, and a shy smile crept onto Lily's face. The prince approached her, and with a slight bow, he extended his hand. "May I have this dance, miss?" he asked. His voice was deep and kind. "Oh, yes," stammered Lily, surprised by his sudden request. She placed her hand in his, and as he led her onto the dance floor, she couldn't help but giggle. They danced for what seemed like hours, and all the while Prince Leo couldn't take his eyes off Lily. He was captivated not only by her beauty, but also by her grace and kindness. In fact, he had never met anyone like her, and he found himself falling in love at first sight. Meanwhile, back at home, Thomas couldn't stop thinking about the beautiful tiara he had seen on one of the castle maids. He had always dreamed of being a knight, and now he had the chance to befriend one. So, while the party was in full swing, he excused himself and went to find the maid. "Excuse me," he said politely, "but could you tell me where I might find a knight to talk to?" The maid was taken aback by his request, but she couldn't help but smile at his enthusiasm. "Well, if you're looking for a good story, you've come to the right place," she said with a wink. "Follow me." She led him through a series of winding corridors until they reached a large oak door. "Here we are," she said. "But remember, what happens next is your choice." With that, she disappeared, leaving Thomas alone in front of the mysterious door. He took a deep breath, then knocked. A deep voice boomed from behind the door. "Who's there?" "It's just me, Sir Knight," replied Thomas. "I was wondering if you could tell me about all the brave things you do." The door opened slowly, revealing a tall, imposing knight in shining armor. "Ah, you wish to be a brave knight like me," he said with a booming laugh. "Very well, I shall tell you all about it." And so the knight began to regale Thomas with tales of his daring adventures. He told him about fierce battles, magical creatures, and faraway lands. And as Thomas listened, his eyes grew wide with wonder. He had never imagined that being a knight could be so exciting. But alas, it was time for Thomas to return to the ballroom. As he said his goodbyes to the knight, he couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. He wished he could stay and hear more stories, but he knew he had a duty to look after Lily. When Thomas rejoined Lily and the prince, they continued to dance and chat merrily. And as the night wore on, the three of them had a wonderful time.